All right. Come on, somebody has to still be playing. It's not that late in the season. The real issue is probably just that most of the people still playing are either not in the victory or still in the victory track or way above me here. That's probably the main reason that I'm waiting this long. Jesus. You really have four rank threes and three of them are mystics? Sorry, there's a bullseye down here too. Honestly, don't really want to deal with that. Yeah, why not? Grab that for the Sasquatch immediately. Hey, Sim. Morning. Morning, Triple H. Really tempted to try the Shathra. Yeah, why not? Let's go for it. Hey, easy. Morning. Will I be going for a 100% win rate next season? Nah, I mean, if I can get it, sure, but I usually lose, like, the way it tends to work is that I lose, like, two or three matches right as I get promoted over lines in the victory track. And I'm just used to that. Okay. Maybe I should have grabbed Venom. We've got options for the spam if that comes up. Checks in the mail, right, Sid? Yeah, I almost never play Battlegrounds except for when I'm streaming Finn. This season was a bit of an exception. I think I played all of like 10 games off stream. Nah, it'll be very similar to how you get Undermine. On the current raid map, you'll get Vigilance, is I believe what it is, on the next one. So you'll be able to punish his specials. Oh my god. I'm not even going to pretend that wasn't my fault. I did try and parry her first light. But does the lag look as bad to y'all as it does to me? Because this is rough. A block-breaking, unblockable hit. As long as... Yeah, as long as it's capital U unblockable, I believe she should be able to. Yeah. You saw that, B. I sent it to that chat you're in. No, she's not ignoring anything, Triple H, but check her kit again. She does have extra ability accuracy. Yeah, that fight felt super laggy. I may... Unfortunately, when this happens, like, restarting the app hasn't seemed to help much, so I may need to take a minute and fully restart the iPad. We'll see. Hey, Gareth, how's it going? Yeah, as a general rule, Triple H, like, don't assume that people are just immune to things if without saying so. Like, check the kit again for anything that would work against them. And extra ability accuracy definitely works. Okay, I was hoping we'd get to try this. I think that's our best defender. We could still definitely lose, but let's see how Shothra works. Hey, Reef. Black Hole, welcome. I did not mean to light attack there. Cool. That fight needs a whole lot of cleaning, but that works. Yeah, she reduces the duration. That's what Atrophy does. It's the same effect that Kindred has access to. Yeah, I'll take that for a first-time live sim, absolutely. I would have thought glancing on blocked hits would only work on blocked hits. So that is... I understand why. The problem is one of priorities and, like, when the effects need to trigger, right? I know you've been around before when I've talked about things unstoppable triggering earlier than, say, Weapon X's, right? Um, and that's basically because, like, Weapon X's wasn't designed to be a you hit me and I instantly hit you back threat. It's a long unstoppable. It's supposed to be, okay, you hit him, then he gains charges, then he goes unstoppable. And so you can avoid it with like an on hit slow. guess technically you can with things too. So that's not really. I'm more talking about like ability accuracy reduction. That's more accurate. Um, but with like things, you need to have whatever's preventing the unstoppable up before you actually land that 16th hit. And the reason for that is because if the unstoppable triggers too late, then he will already be in the recoil animation, as in the hit react, from being struck. So to make sure that he can actually punch you immediately from going unstoppable, the unstoppable has to trigger very, very soon. This is most easily observed by the fact that if you have neutralize from Tigra up on like the 14th hit, then the 15th one is fine. If he's at 15 rock stacks and you land a hit with Tigra, then he will go unstoppable because that's the relationship between the two priorities, right? There's very similar things at play for both unblockable and glancing. Because glancing, because it messes with ability accuracy, has to trigger very, very early before the hit comes in, right? And it has to trigger really early because it was always intended to also stop defensive ability accuracy reduction. And defensive ability accuracy reductions, think like Falcon's Locked On, also have to happen very early because they have to happen before somebody would go into the evade animation, which again has to happen before the actual hit so it can cancel the hit, right? So it's basically like an arms race of events here. If I'm going to evade, I need to evade before they hit me. If I'm going to stop an evade, I have to do that before they would evade. If I'm going to stop something that stops the evade, I have to go before that. So glancing goes way up there, right? And unblockable is somewhat similar. I believe it's more like where the evade is. But the unblockable can't actually happen when blocked, right? When we code something, excuse me, that was not a word. When we code something like Atom that breaks block, what we're actually doing is we're going unblockable as the hit is about to land and that person is blocking, right? Because it has to happen before the actual hit is calculated because that's what unblockable does, right? Is it makes sure that you can't be blocked. And so that's why glancing can stop unblockable block breaks because both of them are technically being calculated before the hit ever could be blocked. Which I realize is kind of dense, but hopefully that made sense. That is a heavy account. Jesus. I don't even know, man. I see what you're saying, Finn. Yeah, that's because that one actually shouldn't happen. But that means that it is happening specifically because Dust doesn't have a check in her code for the opponent not being unblockable, which she's supposed to. So that's just an oversight. Maybe I should have taken Havoc, forced the Ant-Man off defense. Is that something I should send in as a bug report? Yeah, that probably is worth a report. Nah. Let people have fun, Viraj. I don't know, man. I didn't really like how any of those lined up. Hey, Obid. Welcome, Boris. Yeah, and I don't really have a photon option. I did have an option to take Black Cat earlier. I should have made sure to do that. Been banning Big Dust this meta. Yeah, I can understand that for sure. Hey, Steven. Nice little gamble there. It stopped the stun or the untouchable. Cool. Okay, we got rid of their photon, their dust, and got a victory all out of the same round. That could have been cleaner, but bravo, Luke. Luke's stun can activate her untouchable, but I had a concussion up. Alright, we gotta win this one. Maybe I should have taken this loss, actually, given the characters we had, and just tried to, like, throw and set up round 3, but whatever. Excuse you. Ugh. I really felt like we had this one, and then it just held me in place for the last hit of that. That's so tilting, because now I definitely lose round 3. And if he had just thrown the special 2 instead, like that... I should have blocked and pushed a special 2 rather than even risked letting him get the charges. Fudge. Alright, time to lose to Hulk. Let's get it over with. Hey, Jackie. This is my surprised face. Yeah, I actually didn't spend any money on the Shothra crystals, which is funny because, of course, that's the first time I hit. I just bought the 10 black ISO and moved on. But I got very lucky. I got Shothra and I duped Nefaria. Yes, there are differences between Untouchable, Phase, and Falter. Untouchable has a potency, for one thing. Falter is an effect that goes on the opponent. Phase is just kind of a generic. There's not really a functional difference between Phase and a 100% Untouchable. Um, they've just been used for different flavor things. Don't even, Mike. I get so unlucky so often. There is no such thing as Kabam employee luck. Yeah, I've said it a few times. I'm glad friendlies don't work for the emote, because if they did, almost all of the impact would be felt by me personally. Because no other Kabam employee streams Battlegrounds as much as I do. Except maybe Mike? I don't know how much he's streaming these days. I'm leaving the serpent open on purpose. I kind of want to see how that goes. It's interesting, Jackson. Yeah, I should have taken the black cat over Adam earlier. We can get through this, but it is not, Justin. Alright, don't really have a great Korg answer, which is kind of unfortunate because I was hoping to place Toad on defense. I have no defenders, Jesus. Okay. Definitely should have picked somebody other than Tigra. I've streamed at least some Battlegrounds literally every season since it launched, Arif. Dang it. Okay. We actually... This has been terrible concussion luck, and we actually just went over 5 there for a second. It's not good. I think we lost too much health there. Let's see. Hey, Cream Cheese, how's it going? Oh, calm down, Arif. I'm not... Look, I know y'all are gonna have an interest in stream sniping me, but can you please not try and make me feel like an animal on display? I'm not going to announce the latency. Figure it out. Nah, I don't think you're in the minority easy. It's just been a hard no from people. Was really hoping he'd just throw the special 2 there. Would have been nice. That might be fast enough, though. Spark landing all those crits is going to give Toad more regens and poisons. Yup. Woo! Not bad for drafting 0 defenders. 0 pure defenders, anyway. Would I say Havoc is a top 5 mutant rank 3 option? Top 5, probably. I do really like Havoc. I think he's one of the best 2-ways. Because let's see, I know Aunt May is out of date, but if I go to 7-star and add in Sinister, I think obviously Onslaught is higher value. Onslaught is the best mutant at the moment. I think Weapon X is up there. You're looking at like Dust and Domino. And then Sinister. It's possible Havoc is outside the top 5, depending on how you rate Dust, I guess. I don't know. He's certainly a good option. Like, stuff like this is why I don't care about ranking, because you might not have you might not have Onslaught, you might not have Weapon X, and then who cares, right? Um, what am I thinking? I will say I didn't mention Bishop. I'm not. I don't know. I haven't felt like I've missed him that much. I used to, but I miss him less these days. I think Nova has quite a few redeeming qualities. Black Hole, yes. Like, he's a good defender in most metas. He's just great in crit me. He's going to be a surprisingly good attacker in crit me, too. Not that you'll use him much. But Nova is just good in general if you figure out how to play him, you manage the Furies. I've taken, what is it? Korg and Atuma very profitably with Nova before, in particular. He does want SIGs, but SIG 20 is a good start. What's more dangerous? A rank 3 Shang-Chi or a rank 2 Juggernaut? I think it's the Juggernaut. Stupid champion. Glancing will still stop critical hits, yes. Hey Vega, how's it going? I mean, there's always a chance, Arif, but honestly, that is just Such a small fish. Taking Adam again. He's too good as a Swiss Army knife. But like to my point of Reef, like keep in mind we have a limited number of economy designers to rework rewards for anything. They have to deal with all of the sales, all of the stores, all of the milestone tunings. Is that what you want them focusing on? Yeah, I love Havoc Omega. I'm very happy to have him, and I don't care in the slightest if he's top 3 or not. I think I just signed up to do Adam versus Korg again. Although we'll see. This is almost the inverse of the last draft. They mostly drafted defenders. Alright, let's get that onslaught out of there. If they use their Atuma, respect. Or, sorry, I meant Nova. So yeah, respect. Let's see. Everything will eventually get changed. This one is not going as quickly as the previous. I don't know if that was fast enough. No, it wasn't. Bravo. Told y'all. Nova's good. Better crit luck against Korg and we win that, but yeah, that was a very good showcase. Honestly, it's probably also true that if they have worse crit luck, we win that. But that's okay. No. Shit. Terrible. Thank you, Eric. Harsh, that kind of message that you just sent is exactly why friendlies don't count. No offense to you at all, but like, I don't know you. Imagine how many people I know, let alone don't know, they would ask me for special dispensation next month. I'd never get through Victory Track. Oh yeah, no, a big rank 3 Nova wins that more often than not. For sure. Not great. Not great at all. Excuse you. We both know what you're gonna do. Bro! This is the worst Wolf versus Onslaught fight I have ever had. Nah, they're never even close to that. Holding on to the special 2 for like 20 seconds. That was ridiculous. Hey, NSD. Oh, look! My shocker. How about that? It's not possible, Mike. Not with the current system. The AI has no conception of time or what effects are active or anything like that. I've been called a liar for that in the past, but, like, if the AI was intelligent as some of y'all think it is, we wouldn't have the problems we do because it would be easy to fix. I didn't need to throw that second special one. I probably did need to risk that. I had a pretty high chance to stun with my various mediums. It wasn't that risky, but I wasn't going to sit here and do the math. I really need to get my boy duped. jerk! Double jerk. Yeah, I have seen that black hole. That is neat. Hey, William. I don't know if y'all could hear how much I was tapping that striker there. The game is 10 years old, Dilly. How common do you think neural nets were in 2013? No, Pablo. No, there's not. There's no chance that that gets changed because there would, like, even starting to sketch out the scope of what would have to be checked by QA if we change something that fundamental, like, mm-mm, mm-mm. And that's how you get yelled at by project managers. um, I think the plan is for her to stay under embargo until she goes in game, Davis, so probably not. You'll have her abilities, though. The thing about slapping AI onto stuff, Dilly, is that, like, it normally doesn't do well, right? Like, AI in a game like this would be, like, for translating or something, right? Like, it's not. Chat GPT is not nearly good enough to rewrite our existing AI, as janky as it is, and come anywhere close to the experience that people are used to, right? And I also want to differentiate there. Well, that's the say so. I just had my normal coffee and Cliff Bar. But I also want to differentiate there that there is a big difference between using AI to write code, that ChatGPT stuff, and actually coding an AI, right? Like, people see ChatGPT and they go, AI is everywhere. But that's. Oh, looks like my capture card slowed down. 1 second. But, like, that's very different than actually building an AI that's capable of doing something itself, right? Like, Chat GPT is not the kind of AI that can write another AI. And so just because, quote, AI is everywhere doesn't mean that the tools to build an actual artificial intelligence to control fighting game characters are remotely commonplace. Yeah, it's not even close. Like, there are things that I want us to do with our AI, but it's like move from one awful janky algorithm to a less janky, more modern algorithm. It would still have none of the characteristics of artificial intelligence. I have not, Omega. I'm not curious in the slightest. Yeah, no worries, Pablo. There are a number of things I would like to change. I'm not sure that that would be one of them, maybe, but like it's not even in my top five. If we were able to do fundamental changes on the game's core mechanics, I think my personal top two would be changing the way that critical penetration works. I don't know if we would have to go back to the old 20%. That feels too strong. But going from the current 80 down to like 50 feels like it would be good for the game. Um, yeah, in a second here. You annoyed me. You're gone. Um, and then the other big one some of y'all have heard me talk about is that I would probably define ability accuracy and effect accuracy separately because the differences between them have shown up in enough characters that it's causing too many problems to call both of them ability accuracy. What's funny, what's funny, Pablo, is I'm probably gonna get Shocker in this draft. He's probably gonna show up twice or something silly like that. Say lovey. No, it doesn't, Sim. Sorry. Because Domino is actually playing with ability accuracy. She's modifying the overall attribute. I mean, if I was given the power to change a bunch of things in the game, Omega, I'm not sure Domino staying the same is in the cards. But that part of her is probably left alone. See, there's Shocker, literally at the end. Why wouldn't he be? I think I still grab him, actually. I've checked on that enough, Arif. I don't remember if it was Domino or Heimdall or Void, but there were three of them in the same year. You can look on Aunt May. I think this gives us enough time. We'll see. I'm gonna do my best to test this one. I've never done this fight. I know that's not how that part is supposed to go. I don't know why I did that. Instinct. That's unfortunate. Oh, I didn't even notice he got that up because he waited it out. That's fine. Gotta try that one eventually. And it was going way too slow. But I needed to hold back Shothra for Maestro. So it is what it is. And I didn't really want to fight future Ant-Man on defense. Is what it is, part 2. Good luck with the hunt, JJ. He's not harsh, don't worry. Could have canceled into that special one a few seconds earlier, and this definitely would have been cleaner. I'm still figuring out how to get the best mileage out of her. If that were a rank 3 Maestro, you'd want another special 2 instead of the special 1 I threw there to recharge. But you can rely on the special 1 to finish off. Nope! Didn't spend any money on her, Harsh. You know what they say about assumptions. The Black ISO market, JJ. I bought the 10 crystals and got lucky. Yeah, luckiest 10 pop of Valiants I've ever had. We probably lose here, but it's worth a shot. Shocker's a jerk. Right, not that one. She really slowed me down at the end there. Yeah, that's okay. You talking about me, Harsh? I honestly hadn't clocked it as South Asian, but noted. For the record, I don't think people aren't paying attention or anything. It just looks very much like an English word, right? But good to know. Thanks for shouting it out. Hey, I'm Judd. I mean, maybe. I seriously doubt they would include me in that. Instant onslaught. All right, let's see if we get Shocker this time. Oh, you know what? Adjust. Excuse me. What free Valiant crystal near? Oh, so not Valiant Crystal, but Crystal. Gotcha. Valiant Daily. Now I'm on the same page. How did I miss they had a rank 3 bullseye? That dude's PI should be illegal. They get a rank 3 shocker. Not me. I really don't like this draft. Yeah, this is not going to go well. Trying Wolf for Onslaught again. Maybe I shouldn't have swapped those. This is a throw either way. How'd we do, Eric? I haven't tried that one in several metas. It was better than I thought it would be for a rank 3. Alright, now I'm feeling pretty confident. Cool. What's the percentage Killmonger gains of missing power again? Like 15? Yeah, so you can get away with 6 debuffs and not send him red. Really did not mean to parry there. I hate you so much. I feel like this is a loaded question. Wait. So I'm going to ask you to clarify, what are you looking for out of this question? I'm being a little cagey here on purpose because I know a lot of people are not happy with the tactic pool. They want, you know, more generically strong characters in it, more consistently, and I know there's a lot of criticism for it. So I don't really want to answer it generically and have that like misquoted in a bunch of other chats. Not necessarily by you, but there are 55 people here. So what are you looking for? Hey, Wolf. Also, near, here's what I'm currently running. I am open to suggestions. Oh, it froze again, didn't it? 1 second. Nah, that's not Wi-Fi or lag. It's the capture card deciding it wants to stop working. Gotcha. Wait, that's a fair answer. Um, Generally, what we try to do with the tactic is we like I first thing to say is that I'm like I'm secondary to tactic design. I do get feedback on it. I do get feedback on the pools. I'm not going to pretend I'm not involved, but it is not my job. That is other people. And I say that not to pass the buck, but to limit how much weight you put on what I'm about to say. Um, my understanding of the process for designing tactics is first you pick the class combinations, right? And then you try and identify some RPG keys or locks that are appropriate to basically both defender classes and both attacker classes. And so what you saw this time is like Mystics have power gain first, regen second. Mutants have regen first, power gain second. Made sense to work with both of those, right? And then on the attacker side, okay, science champions have debuffs, and tech champions have some debuffs, but also better access to heal block. And so then what we've been doing, at least for the last few, is all right, we've identified kind of the two, and then both of them feed into a central resource, right? On the defensive side, we give everybody regen and it turns into power gain. On the attacker side, We give everybody heal blocks, and they can either bring their own heal blocks or turn on that heal block with debuffs. But and then we take that heal block and add extra stuff, right? The same way that to the power gain we added miss, to the heal block we added anti-miss and ability power rate down. So like that's generally the tactic design, and then from there we try to pick characters that hook into them in an interesting way, right? Like once we've identified that debuffs are the goal, somebody like Photon or Quicksilver is out because it would just be too trivial for them to ramp, right? Like, or more accurately, we don't want too many of those characters, right? Because it's very easy for somebody like Silk or Miguel to ramp, and they're insta-banned, right? We could have added Photon and Quicksilver, and they also would have been insta-banned. But if there are too many of those characters in a pool, then the war experience becomes less interesting because there's less actual choice in the bans, right? We want bans to actually be strategic choices. We don't want the list of 3 or 5 to be completely automatic across every single alliance. We want there to be different defenses based on what your bans are. And so because of that, like, we do put in some characters that are, quote, too good at the various tactics. Yes. Part of that is just for the sagas overall, right? It lets you use saga resources on them. You can rank them up for Battlegrounds or for the future, etc. Part of that is because in lower tiers, they still get to use those characters because they're not necessarily permabanned. But we don't want too many of them because then the tiers where bans are important and dynamic become worse, right? That's why no Photon, no Quicksilver. From there, we try to pick as many characters that can access the tactic as possible in general on both classes, right? So, like, what am I thinking? Like, offensively, Leader is an obvious one. Luke is an obvious one. Jessica is a really interesting one because she has all the debuffs, but it takes a little bit longer for her to get them. Mysterio has almost no real debuffs, but has the heal block and has pretty good access to it as a passive, right? And so that's kind of the thing where we go next. We want a spread of champions with different utility. We're not just looking for like a generic quality level. I'm putting that in quotes. None of y'all can see me because I don't stream with the face cam. But like we are more looking for diversity of RPG keys. We want attackers that have real answers to hazard shift nodes. We want at least some characters who can do things with passives so that we can handle the masochism and conflictor nodes, right? Defensively, we want some diversity there, right? So like characters like Sauron that can get regen on every single hit, interesting. Characters like Maw that have miss in their base kits, also interesting. Where there was another one I was thinking of. Oh yeah, like a character like Northstar is interesting because not a lot of the defenders in this tactic gain buffs. But there are nodes where gaining buffs is interesting. So somebody like Northstar, who is a more old school mutant who really does gain buffs, is a great inclusion for that reason. Is he geared as a very powerful defender? No. But, like, there will be interesting placements simply because he has something that other people don't. And yeah, resonate and synergies. Gambrinas. Danny's another one of those, depending on how you play against her. But, like, that's basically what we're going for. First and foremost is that, like, the point of tactics is to change up the meta, to get different defenders placed, to get different defenders placed in different places, to get different attackers assigned, to get them showing off different parts of their kit, basically to make the game feel broader, right? And a big thing that we focus on there, like I said, is diversity of keys and locks to try and make sure that the tactic can live on as many nodes of the map as possible and interact with as many of them as possible, and to make sure that the attackers have the answers to as many of those nodes and combinations as possible. Bluntly, we can't test literally every combination. There's not that many Saga characters. But what is this? That doesn't seem right. Okay, yeah, I own 75, I don't own 3. That says 6 stars, so that's 78 Saga characters. So let's just say 40 each way, right? There are 50 nodes on the map, roughly 40 possible defenders, 40 possible attackers. That's a hell of a multiplication problem. If you just assume that you need maybe 2 or 3 minutes to test each of those fights individually, not happening. Not going to happen. Never going to happen, no matter how many people we hire or outsource or whatever, right? So I'm not going to pretend literally every matchup has been tested, but we test a lot of them, like literally a few hundred. We theory craft more. We're doing what we can. Yeah, but we go from there. I think that's probably all there is to really say there. Yeah, no, Node 10 is tough there, wait, but highly recommend. Deathless Vision works great for that fight. Ultron works fine. I took that earlier, and yeah, he goes unblockable, but you don't care because Ultron is good. The hardest counter, if you have her, is Viv. Not a lot of people are pathing Viv in War. We know why. She's on the squishier side. But she is very good. Yeah, not surprised to see Sim type that. I'm assuming he typed it before I said it, even though I saw it after. But yeah, she's great. We've been using Viv a fair amount. Sim and I both have Ascended ones in our battle group, and she's awesome. Anyway, I need to switch computers at this point. I will probably stream a little bit more, because as you may have noticed when I got there, I still have one more milestone here, and I do want those Titan shards. I did at least claim all of the milestones there, but yeah, I could get my Elder's Marks a bit lower. So maybe tonight or tomorrow, but yeah, catch y'all later. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Take care.